Good morning, my lovely, lovely friends of Earth. I hope that you're having a fantastic day. All in one gulp. Not really. It was like the last two sips. Anyway, today I would like to talk to you or with you about my experience of how this intentional raising of my Kundalini energy has affected my relationships. First of all, just as a disclaimer, as I always say in all of my videos, this is only my experience. There are people who have different experiences, and maybe you will too. I don't claim to know anything about your life, and I won't tell you what to do. This is just what I am experiencing on my journey. My relationships have dramatically improved. I'll start with the one with my ex-husband. My ex-husband and I divorced in 2011. So what's that? I don't know, 8 years ago. And we have had a semi-friendly, our relationship has ranged from semi-friendly to tumultuous and difficult and everywhere in between. I, for a long time, was feeling so much anger toward him for different things that happened during our marriage. And one of those things was just the fact that I was married to him, and he was my experience of marriage, and actually getting angry at him for ruining my experience of marriage, my only experience of marriage so far in my life. I'm getting married though, soon. But up until I met my fiance, he was my experience of marriage, and still is, because I'm not actually married yet. I was pissed at him for that. And I, during this Kundalini process, found within me the natural capacity, without trying or intending or even meaning to, I forgave him. And forgave him to the point where we're friendly now. And I truly wish him well. So that relationship has completely transformed, done a complete 180. I wouldn't say we're best friends, but that's only because I don't hang out with him. He's got a girlfriend, I've got a fiance. We don't hang out. But I would say he is a friend. Somebody who I can be friendly with. There's no anger, there's just, that has been purified, and we get along now. That relationship has changed tremendously. And that is because I was able to look at it with fresh eyes, able to forgive and look at it with a new perspective. Seeing him as a human being who has faults, and seeing myself and my part, which is very interesting, seeing my own part in the breakdown of our marriage, seeing how a lot of the things that happened weren't actually his fault, how they were not my fault, but my responsibility, and I didn't live up to my end of the bargain, and I just was able to see my part in it. And my relationship with my fiance tremendously improved, which is interesting because from the very beginning, I mean, we literally saw each other on a beach, fell in love almost before we even saw each other. I mean, it was instant. It was like he saw me, I saw him, and we were already married. This body, mind, soul union. It was incredible and wonderful and beautiful. And we've never had any issues, really. We haven't had conflicts or we have been very close from the minute we met, and things have always been good. But there was this way in which I was closed and not trusting, and just I didn't even know it, because it's the way I had functioned my entire life. This feeling of being closed off and with everyone. I was protecting myself, and I had up walls. I had walls up that I didn't even know were there. And as this energy was working through me, I actually felt it, and during one of my meditations, break through walls that I had around my heart. And since that day, which was about 6 weeks ago now, a month and a half ago, I have been so much more open. It's like my heart opened and he and I became one. And my relationship with him now went from being close and being happy and us enjoying each other, but me not sharing everything and me feeling slightly reserved and like I had to have 1 foot ready to leave at any moment. One foot in the relationship, 1 foot really not. Or for some reason, 1 foot in the relationship, 1 foot really not. Like just prepared to have to be on my own. To now, our relationship it's not even close. We're one person. I literally, when I'm with him, I feel like I can feel what he feels. Like we are just one unit. And there's no protection whatsoever. I have no defenses up. I share everything. And the interesting thing that has started to happen is the things that he used to say that used to trigger an emotional reaction in me that was negative, like that would put up my defenses and make me feel shut down, or that would make me sad and hurt. They used to really bother me, and it used to cause a problem because I would just totally shut down. I'd never share what was going on. I would just not talk and just be kind of in my own little world. That's how I dealt with it. So he'd say this thing and I'd be like closed off. Now he says the same thing, which I don't think was ever meant to hurt me. It's just truth that he's saying. And I don't even notice. I don't even have a response anywhere at all in my body. I'm still just as open, just as free. The things that used to bother me just don't anymore. I don't even hear them. And if something comes up and it bothers me, I say it. I'm like, I didn't like that. Right away. It comes out like a burp. Like, I think that's an open throat chakra. I'm like, well, I'm not down with that. Or I didn't dig that. Or I'll say, that's not true for me. Whoa, totally different than my responses before, where I felt it wasn't okay to speak up. It just comes out, and then it's over. My relationship with him is better. My relationship with my parents has improved exponentially. I can relate to them now. There's an understanding. I just feel so much more compassionate and real with people. And there's also this wonderful feeling of confidence and self-love that I have within me that's so strong that I don't need to make anything about me. So we're at dinner, and it's me and my parents and my kids and friends and whatever, people all around the table. And before, 6 months ago, whatever, before I started this awakening process, I would have found a way to talk about the subjects that I liked to talk about, or I would find a way to somehow make the conversation about certain things, or I'd be upset if I didn't get a turn to talk. I would get upset if nobody paid attention to me. And now, interestingly, I don't feel any of that. I don't even care what people are talking about. I just want to be connected with them energetically. The words are not important. I am not important. They are not important. It's the energetic connection. care if we talk about your business or whatever it is that you want to talk about. There's this feeling of wanting to give to others in every way and wanting to serve. And part of that serving and giving is being able to listen and to make things not about me, to make things about others, to be concerned and understanding. And St. Francis of Assisi had a prayer, and in the prayer, which I love, he would say something about, help me to not seek to be understood, but to understand. Seek me not to, or help me to seek to love, not to be loved. In other words, like, don't help me to not make it about me. And that is service, is having it be about the other person, about others, without depriving yourself, which is important, because that's a whole other issue. Giving and depleting yourself isn't giving. It is, to me, what I've noticed in my past is I would give for the right to be angry, for the right to be resentful. I'd give almost to be able to say, look at what I did and you didn't do anything for me. You owe me, you haven't given to me, so you are bad and I'm good. Like, just this whole weird energy exchange. Whereas now it's like, I'm so in me and in my life that I can be about others. I can shine. I'm so full. I just don't need from other people anymore, so I can give. And that giving has created more of an equal exchange between me and other people. It's beautiful. And I'm closer with the people who I'm close to. And I am better able to see things from their point of view. I'm more open. Our relationship is better. And by our relationship, I mean my relationship really with everyone. I feel no need to try and convince anybody of anything, no need to be right. There's this openness, and I just want to give and listen. Now, like everything with this Kundalini journey, it has not been straightforward, and it's not like now that's how I am, and I'm just this giving saint who listens all the time and who seeks to understand, and I'm just serving all the time. That's not how it is. It's more like on the days that I'm on, that's me. And on the days that I'm off, that's really not me. I don't know if other people have this experience with Kundalini, but for me, the energy is extreme. And I want to say, like, my theory is that there's a teeter-tottering, a seesaw kind of thing with the extremes, where it goes from one extreme to the other until it balances, and it's almost like it needs to show me the extremes. So I'll be on, and I'll be serving and giving and loving and in a really good mood and wanting to listen and understand and hear others, and I'm content to just be that. And then there's the opposite extreme, where, like, everything is about me, and it's the re-show. It's the Rhiannon show. Whatever you want to call me. It's the me show. And if you guys don't want to listen to me, then I'm out of here. And that's happened a few times where I've been, like, very self-centered and very ego-based. And, like, why is nobody listening to me? But it's been like everything else that I've been experiencing on this journey. Maybe not everything else, but most of the things that I've noticed. It's been evening out, where it's like, where, as before, some days I would be all about other people and really wanting just to support them and listen. And almost like I didn't have a self, and not in a bad way, not in like a deprived, lonely way, but like, I'm here for you, and what do you have to say, and I only want to listen to you, and like I just wouldn't share because I didn't have a want to. And then going from that extreme to this day is all about me and I have something to say and you're going to listen and it's not fair that you're not understanding me. Now it's like, you share, I'm listening completely and I'm here with you and I get that. And here's what happened to me. And I do have this thing to say and it's okay for me to be heard. But if you're not listening to me and hearing me, then that's okay too. And like, there's much more balance now. And I'm suspecting that it will get to that balanced, even perfect place. And that's what Kundalini feels like to me very, very much, is this perfection. This energy of everything just being pure and real, and I hesitate to use the word perfect, but it's the only thing that I can think of. Kundalini to me is the perfect life force within you that wants to create perfection in your life, wants to create pure light. And pure light is not good or bad or right or wrong or evil or saintly. It's both and it's neither. And it can be listened to and it can listen. And I think that this will forever be a journey that I'm on, even if I have what they call a full-blown Kundalini awakening, which just doesn't necessarily feel right for me right now. I'm open to it happening and I want it, but it doesn't feel like that's the process that I'm going through. This feels slow and beautiful, actually, beautiful unfolding and lifting. But I suspect that if I live for 100 more years, I'll be on this path for 100 more years, and it will still be trying to perfect me and perfect my life. And I'm just eternally grateful for it. And I hope that you're having an amazing day. I'd love to hear what you have to say about Kundalini and how it's affected your relationships and your interactions with others in your outside world. So leave a comment or email me, whatever. I'd love to talk about it. Okay. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.